The UK government says that the police will be given greater powers to restrict when and where protests can take place by allowing officers to consider the cumulative impact of repeated demonstrations. The move follows frequent pro-Palestinian marches in central London. Nearly 500 people were arrested at a demonstration in Trafalgar Square yesterday. The Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, says that she's creating crystal clear guidance for police forces. Here's Alison Earle.
The view from Trafalgar Square on Saturday. Close to 500 pro-Palestine supporters were arrested. The event, 2 days after the deadliest attack on a British synagogue, came despite calls for it to be postponed. But repeated demos like this could be subject to curbs in future under new government powers.
It's important, I think, that we make this change so that the right balance can be struck between allowing people the freedom to protest, which is an ancient freedom in this country, but balancing that against the rights of the wider community to be able to go about their business free from intimidation and fear. Regular protests by often the same group of people, often in the same place. So I want to make explicit in the law that those types of protests with cumulative disruption for communities can attract the same conditions and restrictions that apply to other types of protests.
Some pointing out, though, the new Home Secretary is no stranger to demonstrations herself.
It's Saturday afternoon.
This was her back in 2014, protesting at a Sainsbury's in Birmingham over its selling of goods from Israeli settlements. The government said it happened over a decade ago and has no bearing on the Home Secretary's current role, but ammunition for the Tories who say the Jewish community don't feel supported.
The recognition of Palestine when Hamas still had hostages sent a terrible signal to Jewish people in this country that the government did not care. I want them to know that we care.
But protesters say many have the wrong idea about those demonstrating.
The implication behind their argument is that these are hate marches. They are not. I have, as a Jewish person, I've received nothing but love and respect on these marches, and I've been attending every week for 2 years.
Others believe more legislation just isn't needed.
We don't need additional powers that the police have already been given in recent years. What we need is to think about what communities really, really need, and that is not further restrictions on protest rights.
The government says the new powers will be brought forward as soon as possible as they try to balance the concerns around protests with those who want to make their voices heard. Alison Earle, BBC News.
I'm back in just a few moments' time. You're with BBC News.